Indigenous fire means indigenous lifestyle. Where we're at now is a very important time. I believe that if we don't pass this information down in this generation, we may go extinct. That's the Karuk people and people like us that use fire for cultural resiliency. That's our way of life.
Fire up here. So we're right here. There's the fire right here. The tribes here and in other places have a huge body of knowledge, and because we have a history of wildfire, but we also had a history of prescribed burning and cultural burning. If you're burning regularly, you're going to have lightning, but it's not necessarily going to be like having the kind of effects that lead to intense wildfire.
When I think of climate change and what it means, I think of the world. And I think of all the irregular weather and climatic events that are occurring. And what that means for us is how do we adjust to these events? If you look in the geological records, there is evidence of intense droughts, intense storms and all this different type of stuff. But what's different is we're in the Anthropocene, right? We're in fossil fuel era. And it's driven by something that this world is not meant to be driven by. How do we mitigate, how do we manage that, something that we have not a lot of control or ability to do? How do we put fire on the landscape to take care of our ecosystem as well as our fisheries, right? And so what this smoke is doing right now, it's creating a aversion layer. It's dropping the temperatures than it would originally be if it was just straight sun coming beating down on you, right? I probably wouldn't be speaking right here in the sun right now if it was the case. If it wasn't for this inversion layer, our streams are on a stressor. It's putting stress on the salmon, it's putting stress on the aquatic species within the streams, but it's a little bit different now because this isn't travel trust smoke that we're dealing with right now. This is catastrophic wildfire smoke.
Sometimes we use the term good fire because fire itself is a functional ecosystem process. We did a prescribed fire here. We've been burning this off every year since about 2012. And it's usually primarily about reducing fuels or enhancing wildlife. Whereas with cultural burning, you may be looking at something specific and then looking at something else 10 feet away.
We need fire to teach our children. We need fire for our food. We need fire to practice our ideology. Fire is essential to life. Prescribed fire is a resiliency for the modern settlements, modern habitation.
So this is considered a really good prescribed burn. You know, this condition will last all summer. These grasses won't grow back until the rains. This treatment that was done at that time of year will help protect the town and this historic village for the entire summer. Whereas when left undone, it's like that. All these grasses combined with the upslope, up canyon winds in the summer just blows fire quick.
When you exclude fire from a landscape like this, you're just delaying the inevitable. And eventually that fuel is going to build up to the point to where the fire is simply not something that you can stop. And you're going to have disastrous consequences when that occurs.
This is our tribal land, this is our home. We have a lot of community around here that really tries to put in effort to do prescribed burning, but fire suppression regimes that didn't allow any cultural burning or prescribed burning in our areas led to this like huge fuel bed that we live with now.
we're really behind in terms of understanding. If we're just now understanding that this can be a reality for all of us, we have a lot to go in terms of creating viable and legitimate solutions to mitigate that.
The oldest teacher on this planet is fire. The spirit of fire connected with human beings connects the spirits of all of our relations into one magical place. What can we do today? Intergenerational transfer of knowledge, interconnectivity, diversity, and harmony. Those are the things we strive for. That's the things we teach our children. And now we're having the ability to do that. And fire has become, once again, becoming that primary forest management tool.